with our friends Opera Vision again, and that is the best place to check out full-length online operas. And we are also partnering with the Philharmonia Orchestra, that are one of Garsington Opera's two resident orchestras. We are joined this morning by Hannah Conway, composer, Natasha Kanjani, choreographer, and Adam Wood, who's a fabulous trumpeter from the Philharmonia. Good morning, Adam, in Newcastle, in your home there. How are you this morning?
Yeah, good morning, Karen. Morning, everyone. I'm really good, thanks.
What have you been up to in lockdown?
Well, I've been doing a lot of practice and a lot of gardening.
Fantastic. Oh, if you've been practicing, can we have a quick blast of something you might be practicing?
Yeah, sure. I'll just play this for you now. It's called Virtuosity by Kenny Baker.
Hey, that was great to hear, Adam. Have you learned any tips whilst gardening?
Yeah, well, I've learned how to distinguish between different weeds, which has been very useful.
Always important. So trumpet practice and gardening, what I like to hear. So I'm now going to take you into the world of Verdi's Aida, and it's set in ancient Egypt this morning, this piece. And I think the land of the pharaohs, pyramids, what comes into your head when you think of ancient Egypt. And this morning, Aida is a slave. She's kept captive in Egypt, and she is in Radames's house, and she's working for him. So that's how the story starts, and she's really, really missing home. So what defines home to you? So we're all in our homes an awful lot at the moment, aren't we? So what are the things that most remind us of home? So for me at the moment, unfortunately, it's the shock of how much washing up is being created because we're here all the time. What is it for you? Is it smells? Is it textures? Is it people? Send us those ideas. We've already got quite a lot of people joining us. So we've got Fiona, who's joined us on YouTube. Good morning there, Fiona. Send us your things that remind you of home, that will remind you of home when you're leaving your homes. And then I have got a bit of a juicy gossip moment in this piece, because Aida is actually in love with Radames. So that's a bit of juicy gossip for you to take us on. And she's so in love with him because she's very, very, very beautiful. So Hannah, could you teach us a song about just how beautiful she is?
Absolutely. Have we got our voices with us this morning? Let's just get them a little bit warmed up. Sing after me. I'll sing something and just sing it back to me. Here we go. Sing yi, yi, yi. Sing why, why. Sing why, yo. Sing why, why. Sing Aida. Sing Radames. Sing Aida. Sing Radames. Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to teach you a little bit from the opera. It's a song that Radames sings right at the start, and he's telling you how much he loves Aida, and it goes like this. So the words are, Goddess Aida, stunned by your beauty. And it sounds like this. So I'll sing it first for you. Goddess Aida, stunned by your beauty. Lovely. Tash is doing the actions for you. So sing it again with me, but this time do the actions with Tash. Here we go. Oh, Karen's got the words, even better. Here we are. Goddess Aida, stunned by your beauty. The next line goes like this. Goddess Aida, glowing with light. Lovely. So let's try it all together. And when you sing Goddess Aida, you're going to go Goddess Aida, glowing with light. All right, let's try it there. Let's try it from the beginning, see how we go. All right. Oh, hello in Seattle. It's 2 a.m. Goodness me. Wonderful that you're with us, though. Here we go. Goddess Aida, stand by your beauty. Goddess Aida, glowing with light. How did you get on? Next one, next two lines are a repeat, a little bit different. So it sounds like this. Goddess Aida, stand by your beauty. Let's try that all together. So Goddess Aida, except we're going to do the same actions. Goddess Aida, stand by your beauty. Here we go, let's try it. Goddess Aida, stand by your beauty. Did you get it? Try again, stand, here we go. Stand by your beauty. And then the last line. You are the ruler of my own heart. Did you get that? You are the, try it with me. You are the ruler of my own heart. Lovely, and we take our hands to our heart like that as we sing, like Tash is doing. Really copy Tash for the actions. Okay, great. Let's try it from the start. Oh, Ollie. Hi, Ollie. And Archie Knowles are with us. How are your voices this morning? Here we go. And sing. Goddess Aida, stand by your beauty. Goddess Aida, glowing with light. Goddess Aida, stand by your beauty. You are the ruler of my own heart. Fantastic. Give yourselves a round of applause. High five someone if you're singing with friends. Well done.
Utterly fantastic. Thanks so much, Hannah and Natasha. And this week's design challenge was to make a white card model and try your hand at being a lighting designer. And lots of you had a go at this, so thank you for that. It was Rhiannon Newman-Brown who was our designer this week. So I'm going to show you a few examples that you sent in. So this is June Nelson. Beautiful June, and look at that camel and the palm trees in the background, and she actually sent us a picture of backstage as well to really demonstrate how she created that gobo. So really well done, June. And this Abby sent this in, and her two boys who are 9 and 11 created this, and can you see they've made a lighting gel, a blue lighting gel there. So that is stunning. You can see a hand operating the torchlight there. That's gorgeous. Thank you. And then this was from Mike Deacon. This was particularly impressive. It just goes to show that these exercises are not just for children. Wonderful, Mike. Look at the effects going over. It's really, you can really imagine you're in a desert, can't you, with those shadows? Whoa. Good work, Mike. And then I've got one final video I'd like to show you, which was an animation of the design. And this was actually Rhiannon's father-in-law, but I just wanted to show you because I just thought it was so impressive. I'd love to see some more of these. If any of you still want to have a go at the design challenge, go over to Garsington Opera's YouTube channel and the camels arrive. So fantastic. So we're all familiar, we are set in ancient Egypt, and we're all familiar with the 2D artwork that was created during that time in history. And here are some images just to remind us. And you can see I've picked a few with some beautiful hand gestures, which you might have seen Natasha in that warm-up do a few of, and there's this one. And then of course we also think of pharaohs. And Natasha, I just wondered this morning if you could really get us into this time in history, in ancient Egyptian history, through movement.
I certainly can. So what I thought we'd do today to fuse in with Aida is add in some tutting. So in the street dance world, in the hip hop world of dance, there's a style called tutting, and it's after Tutankhamun. who is one of the reigning pharaohs from the 18th dynasty. So I want everyone to get up. You don't need much space at all for this. We're going to do a warm-up in a minute, but I want to take you through some of the shapes. Just give them a go. So you're going to touch your fingertips together. You're going to slide the top arm across. Doesn't really matter which arm, but that's my right arm. Push into your wrist. So you've got a rectangle, and then close that off. Back to your fingertips. Push up and close your elbows. Push everything forward and down, and then just open it up. Okay, if you're laughing at yourself, just go for it. There's nobody watching, okay? Then you're going to do really nice right angles, and then flip them up like they're snake heads. Get them to meet each other and say hello. Close them, push forward, elbows up, back to that really good right angle, and drop down. If you're still laughing at yourself thinking there's no way, we're going to put that into our warm-up, but slowly. So all those moves. So let's just get moving now. Let's just get everything going on this Monday morning, and then we'll throw those shapes in, okay? All right, here we go. So find a space and encourage everybody around you to get involved. So I'm starting with my feet parallel as we have been, and take a nice deep breath in. Try and touch the walls and the ceiling. Do that again, really deep bend into the knees, and take it away. Just bring the legs in a little bit, and just bend the knees, nice and easy. Let all your worries, shrug them off. Just get rid of them. Take that a bit faster and into your elbows. That's it, looking good. You can take this high or keep it nice and easy. Take one leg out. So if you've got a lot of energy, you can really bounce it. And if you're thinking, no, thank you, keep it nice and easy. Take that into your arms and shoulders and throw me some of those angles that we've been doing. All right, let's travel. We're going to go step together. But instead of a clap, we're going to hit those shapes. Tap, hit the shape, hit the shape, and again, go. Up and down. Do that again, and up. Just sliding around your room. In ancient Egypt, sliding around, thinking about those shapes of the hieroglyphics, the tutting style. Keep sliding. We're going to work our way through your body parts. Shoulders up and over. Bend your knees. Remember, you can go fast if you want to, or you can keep it slow. Let's go fast. Push. Other way, up and over. Get your whole back involved. Faster, go. Very nice. Arms out, bend the knees, reach for the walls. Let's get the ribs moving. And reach. Take the arms away. Push more into your ribs. Good. Open up the chest, forward and back. Open and close. Really open it up. Open. One more, hands on your hips, circling round. Soft knees. Other way. Okay, it's time to do our moves. Here we go. We're going to go here, fingertips. Cross it over. Give me the rectangle. Close it. Back to fingertips. Close everything up, touch the elbows. Push it forward. Close the arms down. Second half, right angles. Flip them up to snakes. Get the snakes to meet. Close it. Push it forward. Take it back to your shoulder level. Bring it down to angles. One more time, then I'm going to hand you back. Here we go. We're going to go one. Take it across. Rectangle. Close it. Open it back to fingertips. Elbows. Push it forward. Take it down. Second half. Up. Snakes. Touch. Down. Through. Back. Elbows. You can practice all that at home. You can rewind it. Just breathe in. Breathe out. One more time. Breathe in. And just give everything a little shake. Shake, 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 shake. And back to you, Karen.
Fantastic. I really enjoyed having a go at some of those, Natasha, and I really felt like in that world of ancient Egypt, along with Jani, who's giving us greetings from Finland, and she's watching with our partners Opvision, and Sarah says hello, she's watching with the Philharmonia, so thank you for joining in on that one. Now, the next little bit of the story to unfold is that Aida is actually secretly a princess, and her father is the king of Ethiopia, and that is who Egypt are at war against. So this is a pretty serious thing, that Radames and Aida are in love with each other, because it's a forbidden love. Now, in the distance, we hear a triumphant march. And that means only one thing. That means that Egypt have won the battle against Ethiopia. And Radamez, as you can imagine, is delighted. Poor old Aida is not so chuffed about that. But Adam, this morning, you're going to play us that triumphant march that we hear in Egypt at this moment when this battle is won, aren't you?
Fantastic. Adam, thank you so much. What a treat to hear you play that. Now, back in Verdi's time, would he have written that specifically for the modern B-flat trumpet that you're playing at the moment?
Actually, no. Verdi commissioned a new instrument to be built for this. So it was he commissioned this trumpet, which looked like a cross between this, which is a natural trumpet, and this, which is a modern B-flat trumpet. So it looks like this, but it had one valve. And if you're watching very closely, you'll see that I did that whole fanfare just using one valve.
Yeah, because trumpeter friends of mine, when we've been doing these Monday motivations in the past and we're doing actions for trumpets, we've been playing like this with two hands, which obviously is totally, completely wrong. How on earth do you change the sound when you're not using any valves or pressing any keys on your trumpet, any valves on the trumpet? How do you change the sound on the natural trumpet? Could you show us?
Well, actually, the first thing I have to do is buzz my lips. So just like that into the mouthpiece. And I get that whole range of notes, high to low, just by changing the tension in the muscles in my lips. Now, when I put that into the natural trumpet and buzz my lips into the natural trumpet, I can play all the notes of the harmonic series, which are basically just the notes that this particular length of tube resonates at. And that sounds a bit like this.
Fantastic. And then presumably when you add that one valve, it changes the length of tube in some way, does it?
Yeah, exactly. So as soon as I add a valve, it adds a little bit of extra tube, which means I can play a different harmonic series. And then if I add another valve, I can play a different harmonic series until you get 3 valves and you can play every single chromatic note of the chromatic scale.
So you're a bit like a plumber with lots of extra.
A little bit like a plumber, exactly.
In your house. Have you got any other trumpets lying around?
Yeah, I do actually. So I've got two more trumpets with me today. I've got this, which is a piccolo trumpet. And as you can see, it's quite a lot smaller than a normal trumpet. It's exactly half the length. And it's really good for playing high notes, and it's got a really bright sound. And this is a flugelhorn, which is the same length as a normal trumpet, but it's a different shape and it's got a really big bell. And it's good for playing sort of melodies. It's got a sort of dark, rich, mellow sound.
So we've got loads of people watching. I know Matt Sharp's throwing shapes with Finbar at the moment. We've got the McRae family, Louise, and they're all wanting you to play us something on those two trumpets, please.
Sure. So why don't I start with the flugelhorn. I'm going to play you a bit of the Radetzky March. Now I'm going to play you one more thing on the piccolo trumpet, quickly before we go back to Karen. And this is the Prince of Denmark's March.
Whoa. Hands up those. Fantastic. Thank you for that, Adam. That was really, really interesting to listen to, and lots of people tuning in to listen to that. So thank you. The next little bit of the story, unfortunately, as we know, these two cannot be together and their love is forbidden, and that is terribly, terribly sad. So Hannah, can you take us musically into that moment in this story?
Absolutely, I can. It's the most beautiful music, this. It comes right at the end of the opera. So Kate and Iris in Cambridge, I hope you're ready for this little bit. It goes like this. Farewell, O life, farewell to all of our sorrows. We're going to do this for farewell. Farewell, O life, farewell to all of our sorrows. See if you can sing it with me. I'll play. Tasha's doing the movement. Here we go. 1, 2, and sing. Farewell, O life, farewell to all of our sorrows. Then our dreams of joy have faded far, far away. So same tune, different words. Our dreams of joy have faded far, far away. We drop our hands. So let's go from the start. Here we go. Farewell, O life, farewell to all of our sorrows. Our dreams of joy have faded far, far away. Then they sing, farewell, my beauty, Aida. Let's try that. So we're going to sing, farewell, my beauty, Aida. That's Radamez singing that line. Here we go. So all the men in the household need to be singing this, and the women. Here we go. Farewell, my beauty, Aida. And then we repeat the line from before. Our dreams of joy are fading far, far away. Okay, great. Have you got it? Let's try it again. Here we go. Farewell, O life, farewell to all of our sorrows. Our dreams of joy have faded far, far away. Farewell, my beauty, Aida. Our dreams of joy are faded far, far away. As we all have a dramatic tear at the end of it. Beautiful singing. Give yourselves a round of applause. Fantastic.
Well done, everyone. Really beautiful, heartfelt emotions there. If you want to watch the whole opera, you can head over to YouTube, and San Francisco Opera have done a production in the 80s, and it features Pavarotti, a galactic star, so go and check that out. Thanks so much for joining this week. Don't forget, the design challenge is released at 9 a.m. on a Friday on Garsington's Facebook or YouTube channels. Thanks everyone for this morning. We're going to see you next week at 10 a.m. Thanks team for being asked. Adam for joining us this morning. Bye everyone.